Hi, I'm Leigh Adams, and this is Shawn Maestretti, and we are Studio Petrichor.
On top of designing beautiful gardens, they have to be meaningful and purposeful. And we had the opportunity to take a dry, dormant, barren site and transform it into a wildlife paradise.
My joy in being in the garden and in doing this work is having my hands in the soil, feeling, smelling, knowing that what we are doing is an apology to the planet for what has been done to it in the past. We are helping to restore living systems. And as that happens, and as people join in and work with us, they become exuberant. They say, this feels right.
Context is everything when it comes to making design decisions. This home is a 1938 Colonial Revival home. It has a very specific architectural look. Historically, Colonial Revival gardens were very lush, very organized, very clipped and manicured. I took those principles and those practices and I overlaid them with California native plants, which was kind of tricky to do because California native plants are difficult to clip and control. But what we could control on this landscape are the lines on the ground, the forms in the garden, the pathways, the axial pathways. One thing that we could do was sort of frame the chaos with our hardscape. So if you look behind us, it's a pretty wild landscape, but it has been beautifully framed with the architecture of the garden.
We're also really proud of the fact that we could use the trees that had to come down because of xylella. If they're taken down before they have a chance to start rotting, it is beautiful fine wood. So we are sitting on furniture made by our client's nephew. There are picnic tables, gorgeous things that instead of being a waste are a contribution and part of the heritage of this site and a family heirloom. That's really exciting to be able to do that and have that be part of our practices. Hügelkultur is German for mound culture. It's a construct where we use biomass from the garden, green waste, logs, whatever we have that can break down and turn into soil. It harvests water actively and passively and then allows plants to grow from that abundantly. Our favorite thing about it is not only is it beautiful, but it's long-term sequestration of carbon, something we desperately need.
Hi, I'm Max Kanter, and I'm the co-founder of Saturate, and we are a garden maintenance company that maintains gardens with primarily California native plants, and we have the privilege to maintain the garden we're in today. What I really love most about gardening with native plants are the smells. I love showing people the different scents that you get and the aromas that you get from salvias, from evergreen ribes, and I love the fact that 3 hours after gardening, you can smell it on your clothes and your hands, and it's just so refreshing, and it's a beautiful thing. So the goal in this garden is to, over time, use less and less irrigation as the plants establish. In the summertime, we try to do deep, infrequent soaks, and if it's not raining in the wintertime, we supplement the water with the irrigation system that we have. This garden gets watered in 3 ways. Here we collect rainwater through rainwater harvesting, and it aggregates here in the rain swales in the garden. We have above ground water, spray irrigation, and below ground water, which is drip irrigation. We also do hand watering on occasion for new plants, germinating wildflower seeds, and spot watering in the areas that are most dry. So from a maintenance perspective, it's winter time here in the garden. We just received some rains. So our annuals are coming up, native annuals and non-native annuals. And so one of the things we do in the wintertime is a lot of weeding and detailed weeding to preserve the annuals we want to see and to remove the ones we don't. And there are a lot of winter deciduous plants in this garden as well. And so they drop their leaves this time of year, now that it's rained. And we like to collect those leaves, organize those leaves to then use to build better soil here in the garden throughout the seasons.
Hi, my name is Robert Harrison. Welcome to our garden and our home. We've lived in this property since 1987, and we're in Hollywood. This is our garden that you're looking at right now. I'd say about 4 years ago, we made the decision to go to a native garden. And about 3 years ago, we did the building, and this is essentially the third season. It's just starting the third year of growth and filling in. Our garden means to us a place for refuge, a place for beauty, and a place to live and entertain. So this area, Hollywood, the previous name of Hollywood that was used by the Californios was Nopalera, or prickly pear cactus patch. And so all the herds used to come through here eating prickly pears. And I thought it would be important as an homage to the origins of Hollywood to put in some prickly pears. And that's why we have two new ones, and we'll see how big they get. They do flower. We do plan on eating the fruit, and we do plan on eating the petals because they make great tacos. We're vegetarian, and if you learn how to cook them, it takes a little practice, but if you learn how to cook them, they make great tacos. Here, all of our plants are very dynamic, and they all have very specific smells that attract different insects or birds. Our dogs love that because they can go around and investigate each plant as they change, because everything changes from week to week here. We've just started budding our trees here. And the ground, with the recent rains, the plants have started to show us where they've been spreading their seeds. So it's quite exciting.